What is up, YouTube? I'm bringing you guys a Dallas Cowboys rebuild. This team has been an up and down crazy team. They should be in the playoffs. They should have already won a Super Bowl, but they have not won one since the 90s. And not only that, they don't know what to do with Dak Prescott. They're kind of in a situation where do they keep him? Do they trade him? Go up and draft? Do they get Sanders? Because if they get Sanders, they also get his dad. And not only that, Mike McCarthy is fired. So what we're going to do is we are going to rebuild this franchise. We got 5 seasons to try to win a Super Bowl. We're not going to be playing. We're just going to simulating. So let's see what we can do. So as we simulated the rest of the 2024 season here, it has Kansas City Chiefs three-peating for the first time in NFL history, beating Washington. It's a Super Bowl that's predicted. A lot of people have theories out there, and this is kind of theory, I think is going to happen as well. I mean, who else would be the first team to three-peat? I mean, we got the next Tom Brady, as everyone says, and basically the refs are giving it to the Chiefs, so who knows? But I would love, if this does happen, I would love for Washington to stomp on Kansas City, but hey, never know. But it does have Lamar winning MVP, Kevin O'Connell, Coach of the Year. I think that should be Dan Campbell. Jamar Chase, Offensive Player of the Year. Trey Hendrickson, Defensive Player of the Year. Rookie of the Year is Jaden Daniels, and then Cooper is defense. Nick Bolton wins your Super Bowl MVP, so it must have been a defensive play. So we start here basically in the off season. We're gonna go to next week here, and we're gonna simulate some play teams and see what we can do. I'll let you know who we sign. So as in the offseason here, guys, we went ahead and re-signed Zach Martin. We let him hit free agency. Came back a lot cheaper than what he really wanted, and we got him on 2 years instead of 1 year, what he wanted. Hopefully he stays for the 2 years. He is 35. Or 34, gonna be 35. We signed Robert Spillane, who is a really good tackler and replaces Eric Kendricks in that middle linebacker position. We signed a little vet, Tyler Boyd, who can be the outside kind of guy or the backup as we go into the draft, because this team is going to need another weapon other than CeeDee Lamb, and they're going to need it. So we're going to go ahead and get to the draft here and figure out who we can get in the draft. But the thing is, the biggest key question is, what do we do with Dak Prescott, who's an 81 overall, 32 already, and he's probably just going to increase by a little, but decrease. We also did re-sign Rico Dow. But other than that, man, there is no weapons. Jake Ferguson, I mean, he's 26, getting up in age, and this offensive line does need a little bit of help. I mean, they have Tyler Guyton, who had an okay up and down, but more of a down season this year. Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, who had an okay season, little mistakes. We re-signed Zach Martin. We're going to have to replace him. Terrence Steele, I don't know. He's a player, I don't know. We're going to need a left end. We're going to need a right end. DT, we're okay. We got Parsons, obviously. Spillane to cover the middle. Overshone, who had a really, really good year this year in real life. The second year, man, I think he should be higher than a 76. We got a hell of a cornerback group who just, I don't know. They had a really down year this year. Could use a couple more key pieces back here, but this team does not have money. They don't even have safeties. So this right here, guys, is our draft. We took Ashton Jeanty in the first round, who I think is going to go in the top 20 easily. easily. We took him. We do need help in the running back position if we're going to stick with Dak Prescott with this year. If he doesn't work, we'll look to trade him or get rid of him. Plain and simple. He's got 1 year if he doesn't work, and then I think we're moving on from him. But we went out and got him a couple weapons, and Matthew Golden, who is the over-the-top kind of guy. Genty can do it all. Matthew Golden, over the top. He's a speedster. I really like him coming out of Texas. We went and got Jack Nelson, who, had a pretty decent college season. I think he is somebody Dallas would probably look for, just for, backup or, to battle, for their starting position. But he's a decent guy to take in the 3rd round. We didn't have a 4th round pick, but we had a 5th round pick, and I took it on Kyle McCord. I think he's somebody that, if Dak doesn't work, I think it's somebody that Dallas could possibly look for. But, as a late rounder, backup, I like him. Even though Cooper Rush had a pretty decent, backup season. Omar Norman Lott, decent player to bring in. And then Tajay, and then we brought in Brooks as well from Texas Tech. All decent role players, all decent backups, besides a few starting. But if Dak Prescott does not work out this year, we will look to trade him or possibly release him. Releasing will probably cost way too much. So this is what we're rocking with this year. In the 2025 season, we still have Dak at the 1. We did get McCord. We left Cooper Rush actually go. We got Genty as our starting running back. He's a +2. He's got to be 84 already. Maybe preseason. Riddell is our number 2 guy. CD out there with Golden in the 3rd and Tolbert in the 2nd. Ferguson in the 1. We got Steele at our right tackle. Martin, BB Smith, and Guyton or whatever. If Steele allows too many sacks, maybe what we'll do is we'll move Nelson over to get some early reps. On defense here, we have obviously Diggs, Pride at corners, Bland, Carson, and Hooker is just a safety. At right end, we got Nealand, DT1. I'm not going to pronounce that name. At DT2, we got Smith, and then Williams at left end. At strong safety, we still have Wilson, Parsons. At outside linebacker, Spillane, Buddy Johnson in the middle, Overshone, and Clark as well on the other side. And then Hooker. Defense is still a little rough. Offense is also still a little rough. So year 1 here, we went 9-8. We actually made the wild card if we're going up against the 49ers, which we're probably going to get destroyed. Let's go ahead and check out the stats of the year. See, Dak Prescott, oh my god. Great yards, touchdowns, but too many turnovers. Genty, almost 800 yards and 8, as Prescott ran the ball a good bit, not quite sure why. And then Riddell, 7 touchdowns on the year as well. Lamb, 1,200 yards and 13 with 113 receiving. Boyd had a really good year as well, 65,006. Tolbert, not bad as well, almost 1,006. Genty, 500 yards and 3. We didn't get Golden involved much. I'm not quite sure why. Defense side of the ball, Spillane led the team in tackles. That's what I wanted. Parsons only 6.5 sacks. Overshone with 5. Williams with 4. Osa with 2.5. 2. Yeah, not many sacks neither. Spillane 4 interceptions. Diggs 4. Wilson 2. Hooker 2. Overshone 1. 1. 1. And kicking was rough as well. This team was not that good at all. So we're gonna go ahead and simulate this playoff game, see if we can make it to the next round. I doubt we'll be able to, And we actually do upset the 49ers. Holy shoot. Okay. So we are going against the 14-3 Eagles. Let's see if we can win round 2 in the divisional round here against the Eagles. And no, we get absolutely just ran over 52-21. Saquon had 112 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. So we actually made it farther than I thought we were going to. We're going to go ahead and simulate to the Super Bowl here and see who makes it. And then we can check right after the Super Bowl on all the awards. And Super Bowl was Bills and Lions. That's the Super Bowl everybody really wanted to see this year. I wanted to see it. But with the Lions, too many injuries. I think they had 12 plus defensive players on injured reserve, which is kind of crazy. So the Lions actually win the Super Bowl over the Bills here, 24-14. Bills still cannot find a way to win the ring, but they do find a way to, I guess, finally beat Mahomes. But the league MVP is Lamar for his 4th time, and he's only 29 now, 28, 29. Sirianni with the Eagles, Coach of the Year. Lamar, Offensive Player of the Year. Aiden Hutchinson, Defensive Player of the Year. Ashton Jeanty, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Travis Hunter, Defensive Rookie of the Year. So we got Offensive Rookie of the Year, thank God. We're going to go ahead and re-sign Michael Parsons. This is going to take most of our cap. 5-year, 185. He comes back. Bland also needs a contract. Holy crap, Dallas is in trouble. 5-year, 100 mil. See, as it is, we don't even have enough to re-sign some of these players, which really sucks because we could use Smith, we could use Clark, Aubrey as well. We don't even have enough to re-sign him because Dak is taking all that money. So we're gonna go ahead and advance to next week. I'll let you know if we can trade or do something with Dak Prescott. So right here, we are going to trade Dak Prescott, who's aging and getting worse. Tyler Boyd, who has aged and decreased a lot, and I believe he's like 32 now, 31, 32. 3rd rounder for the Browns, 1st round, which I believe is pick 20. We can use that to get, somebody else in there. We just had too much money wrapped in him. Browns can take on their contract. Plus, Browns is kind of the destination for players to just fade. So Dak can go over there and fade while we try to find a way to redeem these Cowboys. And so with our draft recap here, guys, we went ahead and got Greg Walker, who is a 75 overall, and he's hidden. In the 2nd round, we got Taylor Stills, 74 overall. We got both of these guys in the 1st round. I wanted Victor Crowder, but Stills was the next best guy up, in my opinion, that I liked. So we went ahead and grabbed him with the draft pick that we traded Dak Prescott. We got Greg Walker with. And I couldn't let him go any farther, and kind of thankful that we got the 20 because he was probably next up to go. We got Petey Weaver, strong safety, who I kind of like too. Also is hidden development, and he's 71 overall, so that's not bad. We went ahead and got full safety Chad Williams, who was a 66. Kind of our lowest pick, but the rest here they AI picked, and they weren't that great. But a couple players that can get rotational, and possibly you never know. So as we go in year number 2 here, this is what the offense is looking at. It's young. It's a little better, but not much better. As Walker is going to be our starter quarterback. McCord, backup. Jeanty is up to an 88 and superstar, so I guess he was star and got up to superstar. Riddell is 80, who's already starting to regress at 28. CD Lamb at the 1. Stills is at the 3rd. Golden at the 2nd. Ferguson, still the tight end. Steele, right tackle, who's getting a little better. Colin, who we just signed, BB, Smith, and Guyton. Defense is rough on the line here. We got Nealand, Smith, Osa, or whatever. Reddick, Bland, who I think dropped to a star, who was a superstar. And we signed Jonathan Jones, Diggs, and Carson. And then we drafted Weaver, who is going to get the starting job as strong safety. Parsons, Spillane, who dropped from star to normal, which I don't think he should have. He had a really good year, 4 picks, 113 tackles plus. Overshown, and then Hooker. Still, we're going to need a full safety next year, but this defensive line is looking horrible right now, which a lot of our money is into CD and Parsons. But this is the team going into this year, the second year, into 2026. So we're going to go ahead and simulate to the mid-season and see how we're doing. So here at the mid-season, we're actually 4-3, which is not horrible. It's actually better than I thought we were going to be, as Walker is looking pretty decent on the year right now. Genty is looking pretty well as well. CD Lamb 441 for Mingo is getting a lot of reps. Golden, defensively, still leading the tackles by a margin. We get into the quarterback, 3.5 by Parsons, 3.5 by Nealand, 2 picks, 1. So we are not doing that good on defense here. Walker is looking pretty good though. He's looking like he's gonna be rookie of the year. I think we're gonna have to try to figure out a little bit on the offense. I think we're scoring good, but I think the defense can also use a little bit of help. So as we finish year number 2 here, guys, we went on a 7-10 record. So we went 4-3 to 7-10. So not the way we wanted to go, and dead last in the division. So Craig Walker on the year had 3,700 yards, 34 and 17. A little high on the interceptions, but as a rookie, that is not bad, especially not having many weapons to go throw to. Genty, 948 and 6, almost 1,000 yards. Mingo led us in receiving. Okay, that's definitely telling you that we are, and Alice still is only getting 1 catch. Who's taking the second reps? I don't understand how Mingo has got so many. But Splain 127. Parsons finally double-digit sacks. Nealand almost there as well. Reddick 8 sacks. So a good free agency signing, but sucks he's only like a 72 overall. Interceptions, Bland had 5. Splain with 3. Diggs with 3. So not bad on defense. We're getting turnovers. I just don't understand what is going on with the team here. Let's go ahead and look at the devs here. Holy cow. Okay, so Walker is a superstar here. And he probably got Rookie of the Year. Genty had a pretty decent year as well. Stills, I wish would have had been more involved. But Golden and Mingo both are stepping up. Ferguson, Steele, a lot of sacks off of Steele. Colin as well. We're going to look to try to get a better right guard. Guyton probably gave up a good bit of sacks. It's probably why his morale's down. Defensively, Reddick was really good, but he's old and he's only a 73, which sucks a lot. Weaver, I didn't see any picks from him. Diggs had a good year. Bland had a really good year as well. So, not much of an upgrade on defense, just offense, really. And we got a superstar, and defense, we only got a star, which is in Weaver. Oshone, I believe is up to an 80 and still star. So, I mean, it was an okay year, but could have been better. So, at the end of year number 2 here, they do have the Buffalo Bills finally winning their Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes MVP, Jim Harbaugh, Coach of the Year for the Chargers. Rasheed Rice, Offensive Player of the Year. Aiden Hutchinson, Defensive Player of the Year again. And tight end, Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Dexter McCollum. So they don't have Mark Andrews anymore. As you guys seen last season, he was in free agency. And then Cole Wilson is Defensive Rookie of the Year. So no Offensive Rookie Year for our quarterback, which really sucks a lot. But it's whatever. And as we hit the free agency market, we have $83 million in cap. But we do got to re-sign some players. And I'm really hoping it's not a big name players, but let's go ahead and hop in right here and see who we got to resign. Tyler Smith, yes, you are coming back. Let's see if we can work on a deal like that for the rest of the rebuild, and he accepts. Guyton, I don't know. We're going to accept his 5th-year option. Overshone has been pretty dang decent for us, to be honest. I think if we give him almost a little over $11 million a year, he'll accept. We have 53. Mozzie Smith. I think we can get him cheap, and he's not really that cheap. Damn. Okay, I think we're going to let him go. Mingo, we're going to let go. Vaughn, we're going to let go. Jared Ivey, we're going to let go. Shoemaker. We're going to re-sign Shoemaker. See if he just accepts that. No, okay. So we're not going to re-sign Shoemaker. Cullen, we're going to let go. Hooker, we're letting go. Reddick, who had a really good year for us. 8 sacks. We're going to let go. I don't want to pay too much money. And he wants, yeah, a little too much. It's not much, but it's not, horrible. Let's go ahead and hit free agency. We have like 53 mil here in 52 mil in free agency. So we need, that's exactly what we need right there. But I am not overpaying for that right there. So we do need a right guard. So in the free agency here, guys, we went ahead and signed Juice Scruggs, right guard. Clark Phillips, cornerback, to help with the cornerback position. We got Omar, middle linebacker position here, younger, and scheme fit. We got Uche to cover in that right end position, 28, scheme fit, somebody that can help finish the rebuild. We got Felix here at a left end position. And then we went off and got Sidney Brown as well. So got a bunch of players to fill in to where we are empty. So hopefully they can help a lot, and then we can look into the draft here as trying to find key missing places here, missing positions. So I lost footage from the draft of this previous draft, but we didn't get anybody ridiculous, but we got decent players, and I'll show you the players here in a second. But we got Walker, who's up to an 87, Genty up to a 90, Lamb, who lost his superstar X Factor, still at a 97, still is at 77 with Golden at 79, Ferguson at 83. We drafted Clark, who's a scheme fit 73 normal dev. Steele still at the right tackle there. We signed Scruggs, BB, Smith, and Guyton all on the starting. So the offensive line is pretty good. Defense here is where we're starting to improve. We got Diggs at corner 2, Carson as well to back him up, Bland and Phillips, who we signed as well at CB1. Nealand lost his star development. We also signed Uche. Still have, I believe his name is Osa. I want to say his name's Osa. And then we drafted Norman Lott, who's to back him up. But we also drafted Andrew Sample, 3rd rounder. Scheme fit is a fantastic looking player. Sucks he was normal, but we'll take it. Then we got Oldham over here, who is actually going to get the starting reps, who is a hidden development, 21 years old as well. I think he's going to be a star. Then we got Weaver, who lost his development trait as well. Sidney Brown to back him up. Parsons, who's still fantastic. Got Sprite. Spite or whatever. Spillane still in the middle. Overshone. And then we drafted Columbus, who was a 73 normal. I think this team here is still deep playoff pushable. We are averaged into the middle section of this season. So, like, a lot of teams are 85, 84 overall. So, we should be able to compete. Should. Year number 3, we got to do this. So, let's go ahead and simply take the midseason here. This team does not look horrible. It's young. After getting rid of Dak Prescott, we got to start doing something. With Walker up to an 87 already in his second year, I think we should be able to do pretty damn good with him in here, number 3, as we're 2-5. How are we 2-5? 1,411 and 4, 461 and 2. Not many rushing touchdowns. Matthew Golden is our leading receiver. Okay, I don't know how we're 2-5. How are we 2-5? Wow, we are not getting to the quarterback much. Only 2 picks as well. How's the blocking? 7 sacks from Steele already. Holy crap. So I think year number 3 here, guys, we finished 8-9. So we kind of bounced back, but kind of didn't. We had a worse year than we did last year, and Walker had a really good year, 41, 32, and 6. And Russian Genty finally hits his 1K yards with 8 touchdowns, and Dow with 3 on the ground, right? No, 4 on the ground. Golden, our leading receiver, like CeeDee Lamb has not really been doing much neither. That's kind of crazy. Still, you know, our draftees here step up big. Ferguson is 608 and 5. Genty blocking. Guyton and Steele both give up 9 sacks. That is crazy. And then Spillane 119. Parsons 9, 5.5, 5.5, 5. 3 for the rookie. 5 for Phillips. So we signed him, and he leads our team in interceptions. That's kind of crazy. Spillane with 3. Bland with 3. 1. Diggs only 1. Columbus had 1. So I mean, I'm not getting where our team is that rough. We should be a playoff contender team right now, but we are not. So let's go ahead and simulate to this offseason here and see who wins the Super Bowl and see if we win any awards, which I really, really do doubt. As they have the Lions beating the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Lions win Super Bowl number 2 as Mahomes wins MVP number 3 or 4. And we have no rewards at all for the team. So let's go ahead and go in and re-sign some players here. So who we, re-sign, gotta resign and stuff like that, guys. Ashton Genty, we're going to accept his 5th-year option. BB, we are going to resign because I do not feel like having to find anybody else to replace. 2-year, and he wants to test free agency. I really do not want to go after anybody else, dude. Just please stay. We're going to get Sample back. So honestly, a lot of these guys we're probably going to let walk. I think we're going to franchise tag BB because I don't want to have to try to find anybody else to replace him. And I think what we're going to do is draft these key starting replacements, to be honest. So they weren't really starters. They were just kind of like role players. And we have no money for the free agency. So I don't think we're going to be hitting free agency because we are kind of broke. With $3 million, we are going to skip free agency and go straight to the draft. So at the end of the draft here, guys, we went ahead and got a lot of key replacements to replace the players we left go, as we went with Dexter Day as nicknamed DD, 72 overall, not hit in development, sadly. Kevin Ellis, wide receiver, 74 overall, is hidden development. And then we went with Josh Denard, who I don't think was hidden development, but he was a player I kept looking at and I really liked, but was ranked, I believe, like 5th rounder. So we took him in the 3rd. He was 4th or 5th, and I really liked him, so I took him in the 3rd round, and he's a 74 overall. So already, I believe, starting at left side linebacker already. And then the computer picked these players here. Hillman was a wide receiver I was looking at as well, but I really liked Ellis a little more, and I'm glad I went with him. But we still got Hillman, and he's only 69 overall, though. And then we got Devin Myers, a 70 overall tackle in the late round as well. So, I mean, not bad draft. We picked up the replacements we needed, so I can't complain on that. We're going to get Cam, Carter, and Jones for Diggs, a 2nd round pick. Diggs is 30 years old and he's decreasing already. Norman Lott is not starting much. And we really need help with the 2nd running back, middle linebacker position. And all these guys are young. They're all like 26 and younger in a 2nd round pick. Kind of in a win now situation. We need to be able to win. And also we get rid of his cap hit as well. I mean, Jalen Jones is 26. He's an 80 overall. Phillips, who had a really good year last year as well, is an 82. We got Joe Bruce, who surprisingly is coming up and having a really good year. And then we go get Cam to back up Ashton. They both came in the same year. To help with the running game. So this is our 4th season. We only have one more season after this, and we have not had much of a big breakthrough. It's been rough off the start, and then somehow it goes real good. But surprisingly, Victor Crowder was in free agency, so I picked him up because we wanted to get him anyways, so we got him. So at quarterback, Walker, who is up to a 90. Let's see if we can get him to at least a 95 to 99 by the end of this rebuild. Genty's up to a 92. Cam to back him up. CeeDee Lamb, who's down to a star, 94. He's, regressing a lot. Stills to back him up. And then Ellis, the rookie we drafted. Halfway through the year, I might see about getting him some reps to see what his dev is. Golden is number 2. And then Crowder to back him up. We got a lot of young star wide receivers if they're used right. Ferguson still tight end number 1. We also found this tight end here, Madison, in free agency, but I think we're going to still put Clark over him because I like Clark a little more. And I think Clark, he's a scheme fit as well. So we're going to put him in number 2. Nelson's going to start over we're going to have Nelson start over Steele and Myers, Scruggs, BB, Smith, and Guyton. Offensive line hasn't really much changed. Defense, we got some key players. Phillips, after trading Diggs away, is going to be cornerback number 2 with Bruce to back him up. Bland and Jones on the other side. Van Dyke here is going to be our starter at right end over Uche. And this is still looking the same in here. Sample is DT number 2. I'm thinking about we'll probably go ahead and leave him there though. Oldham is still left end. Weaver up to an 82 with +1 morale. Parsons, Carter, Sprite after Spillane. After Spillane is gone, we went ahead and traded for him as well. Evershone, who's up to an 82, who's probably going to start regressing either this year or next year. And then Columbus up to a 79. So defense is not looking bad. It's definitely a better team than what we started with. I mean, we are an 84 overall team. Still average, but let's see what we can do to the midseason here, guys. So here in the midseason, guys, we are 6-1 and looking real good. That's what we should have been last year. I mean, Walker 2019 and 4, Genty 423 and 5, Cam 4 touchdowns as well on the ground. CD Lamb looking like CD Lamb 605, Victor Crowder 505, Golden 405, and then Ferguson with 3 and Genty with 1 on the ground or through the air as well. Barrett Carter leading the team in tackles. Parsons 9.5 sacks. Oldham 3.5. Barrett Carter also has 1.5. And Columbus leading the team in interceptions, and Carter also has an interception. So Carter is a huge pickup that we got. I'm so happy that we got him because he's actually performing really, really good. 6-1. We're not looking bad. Let's go ahead and upgrade our players here real quick. We're going to auto progress them. They all have 1. So team's looking real good. We're looking like we can push into the playoffs this year. Our only loss going to the Eagles, and we lost by 21 points. It's not what I want to see. I mean, Saquon is still having a hell of a day, or a hell of a year. 4 years later almost. 15 carries, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Holy crap. But we're going to go ahead and see some contracts here, which I think CD Lamb is up. He's going to be a questionable one. Carter is up. Guyton, BB, Ferguson. A lot of key players are up. And we have 109 mil in cap. So that's what I like. We should be able to re-sign all these guys. CD Lamb wants a lot, but just come back for 1 more year. That's all we got of this rebuild. We're going to get Barrett here as well. 60 mil left. Guyton has been okay up and down season, you know, after one another. We haven't seen like perfect season from him, but as a left tackle, you're going to give up, you know, a couple sacks here and there. Ferguson, who's been our franchise tight end this whole rebuild, will be coming back for 1 year. Matthew Golden as well has been a stud as that second receiver when he stepped up and when we needed him. Victor Crowder is another one that we might resign. Dylan Madison McCord, you know, to back up. Might as well resign him as well. Jack Nelson, who has actually got the start right now, but we're going to see Drew Doyle, the punter. Might as well resign him. And then after that, I think the only other person that we're going to have to accept is a 50-year option for Greg Walker. So we ain't going to have to resign him next year, which is really good. So Victor Crowder, we're going to go ahead and re-sign him. I mean, he's playing really good, so why not? So at the end of the year here, we actually lose 5 more games, and that is not good. But we finished 11-6, which is one of our best, and we're going up against an 8-9 Cardinals. So let's go ahead and check out, see how the season ended here. Greg Walker, 4,400 yards, 39 touchdowns, and only 8 picks. Looking real good. Ashton Genty, another 1,000 yards with 10 touchdowns, and Cam with 5 touchdowns as well. CD Lamb, 1,211. Victor Crowder, 1,011. Matthew Golden, 1,009. We did not get anything to Kevin Ellis. We should have, but we didn't. Maybe I'll get him a little bit here in the playoffs. Maybe he can get some XP. So let's go ahead and simulate week number 1 here against the Cardinals. Can we beat the Cardinals? We look like the favorite team by a mile, and we lose by 6? Are you serious? Wow. We actually lost by 6. Let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the year and see if anybody has won any awards. That is crazy. And it's Steelers Seahawks. This is a repeat of what? 2002 Super Bowl? 2002 or something like that, 2004, something like that. This is a repeat of that Super Bowl. Do the Seahawks redeem themselves? Or do the Steelers get Super Bowl number 7? And they sure do. Rob Blanton, which I think was a pretty high pick, to be honest. But he gets Super Bowl number 7 for Pittsburgh as Sanders wins MVP. Callahan wins Coach of the Year. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Offensive Player of the Year. Hutchinson is now on the Chargers. Wins Defensive Player of the Year. Rookie goes to Pat, and Defensive Rookie goes to Nate Hobson. So nobody for us, which is not really that good. But we're going to go ahead and see who we need to resign at the end of this year. Hopefully not too many people. But we're going to go ahead and accept the option on Greg Walker and Taylor Stills, so they have next year with us. And then that means that we won't have to resign them by the end of this year and have to deal with the money, because we do not have money. We have $13 million, which is not good. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get to next year, because we don't have any money to go into the free agency and be able to pick somebody up. So guys, let's go ahead and check out this lineup for the 5th and final year. After finally making our Super Bowl or playoff run last year, we lose to the 8-9 Cardinals. So this year, Walker is up to a superstar X Factor. He's playing real well and playing like a Super Bowl talented QB. Genty's up to a 94. Cam 75. CD Lamb still in here at 93. Crowder is going to back him up, but we have Ellis, and I think he's going to step up to be... he's going to be that third guy. Golden's going to be the second guy, and I think Ellis has earned his way to be that third guy, and Crowder the fourth guy. There's a lot of talented receivers on this team right here. Guyton, Smith, BB, all have been... this was an AI selection. He's actually ahead in development. Scruggs, and Myers is up to a 74 after 1 year. He was a 71, 72 last year. He's up to a 74. Ferguson 83, Clark up to an 81. Porter is also an AI drafted in the late round. Somehow is it hidden development. And then our defense, Phillips is up to an 84, Bruce up to a 76, Bland 90, and then Jones 81. And a Dyke 77. Uche 73. 77. Bowens here is also a rookie. And then Sample up to a 77 as well. Oldham 80, who is getting the start over Day, who we drafted last year as well. Weaver up to an 83, still normal. Parsons to a 97. Carter up to a superstar. And then Spite is still underneath him. Overshown up to an 83, even though he's almost 30, if not 30. Columbus also went up to a star to 81. So this team is looking real dang good. I don't see how this is not a Super Bowl competing team, but I guess we'll find out. I mean, we're 89 overall. 89 overall. We should be able to hit those playoffs and drive through. So let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the season, or to the mid-season here, and see where we're at in the final season of this Cowboys rebuild. We're 4-3, and we lost to LA. How are we 4-3? We should be like 6-1 like we were last year. Walker having an okay season again. Genty having a decent season. Lamb, Golden, Ellis. I mean, Golden has 0 touchdowns, but other than that, this team's not looking horrible. 51 tackles, 1 sack. Only 4. Okay, that is our issue. We are not getting to the quarterback. Oldham has 4 sacks alone. Weaver has 2, Jones 2, Overshown 1, Bland 1, Phillips 1. Okay, we are not getting to the quarterback. That's actually kind of crazy. But hey, we're 4-3. We should be able to win. We're gonna go ahead and simulate to the end of the year here. We're getting trade offers for Victor Crowder here. Anything decent that we can start right up front? Screw it. Let's get Roy here. So let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the year here. So at the end of the season here, guys, holy crap, we are 12-5. 12-5 after starting 4-3. So we're in the playoffs, and Walker had an incredible year, probably MVP caliber. It only took him a couple years to progress to that. Genty had a good year too, a little more yardage and a little more touchdowns. 1,212. Cam with only one touchdown as well. CeeDee Lamb finally had an incredible year. 1,600 yards with 25 touchdowns. At 31 years old. Golden 1,004 and Ellis almost 1,008. Ferguson 704. Carter 116. Parsons 9.5. Old Man Ham 7.5 and Everson 6. Phillips had 5, Overshown 3, Jones 3, Bland 2, Weaver 2, Parsons 1, and Dwight 1. So a really good year and probably enough to win him MVP, and it was not. As he comes 4th on the list. 4th. 4,800 yards, 48 touchdowns, and a very, very low amount of picks. They have had to have a crazy year. Burrow 49, 47, and 10 more interceptions. Patrick Mahomes, okay. He had one less interception and one more touchdown and probably more rushing yards. Wow. This year was crazy with quarterbacks. What about receiving? CeeDee Lamb led the league in receiving and touchdowns. He was the crown in both. Okay. But is it enough to win the playoffs? Let's find out. 89 overall team. We built a hell of a team. Let's find out. Wild card against 9-8 Saints. Can we win? We win week 1 in the playoffs. The wild card. Now we're in the divisional against 11-6, 85 overall Panthers. Can we beat them? We do not. This team cannot even get to a championship. This team cannot get to a championship. Let's see who goes to the Super Bowl and wins. As you see here, Patty Mahomes, MVP, Dave Canals is head coach of the year. CeeDee Lamb is offensive player of the year. And the Seattle Seahawks defeat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Wow. 5 years. Incredible class here. Or incredible team, I should say. We got him up to a 99 overall at the end here. Genty almost a 99. CeeDee Lamb back up to a 96. Ellis 84. Like, this team is incredibly good. Offensive line starting to come in. Like, defense, starting to get better, progressing after, basically resetting. I don't know how Phillips dropped. He had an okay year. Parsons, Carter, Overshown. Like, this team, that's crazy. But this is the team we end with, guys. A 99 overall quarterback, a 97 overall running back, a 96 overall receiver, 94 overall left guard. Like, this is crazy. But this is the team we end with, guys. This is the offense. This is the defense. I mean, yeah, maybe we could have done a little better in the interior here, but that's it, guys. I mean, if you guys like this rebuild, go ahead and hit that like button, man. We'll do more like this, and subscribe if you guys want to follow and basically see about more rebuilds here. I'm going to try to post about every other day or so, but Hit that like button. Subscribe if you guys want to follow and see more content like this. Peace out.